Hi, welcome to Verdant. I'm Ellie Bear. I'm joined with us today. We've got our ADC GG. So what we're just going to do, just going to ask you a few questions, just so that the fans can get kind of like an idea of, who's joining our roster for the upcoming split. So if you want to just kind of like tell us a little bit like why Verdant?
I was approached by Niels and it just sounded like a good idea to play. Did some tryouts and went fine, so that's
Yeah,
why.
I mean, so what is it that you want to get out of being a pro player? Is it like you've started in the amateur scene? Is being a player where you want to be forever, or are you just kind of like here now just to learn the basics before kind of going a little bit more in the future, if that makes sense?
Uh, I sort of know the basics already. I'm more of like a macro-oriented player, so like eventually I might like go into like coaching as well, because yeah, the like understanding the game, like doing a bit of like trial and error with like odd picks and builds. Something that I like. So maybe I'll do that in the future. But for now, I'm just liking to be a player.
Fair enough. How's it been working with the team so far? I mean, I know that you've worked with Neos before. How's it been working with the other players and the rest of the coaching staff? It must be
Uh,
quite. It must be kind of like going into solo queue with a pre-made for the first time.
yeah, it's like all like getting used to each other, but like at the moment, it's like still like pretty laid back. And then over time, like when everyone knows like each other's like strengths and weaknesses, then you really get to see like how a team synergizes properly.
Yeah, of course. So when was it that you started playing? Like, what season was it? Do you remember?
I started playing like at the start of season 2, but I played like really casually back then.
Yeah. What were you always in bot lane, or did you kind of go from lane to lane before you found bot lane?
I think I started as like a mid lane, top lane, like a solo laner. And back then I played like the old Akali and I played Lee Sin in lane a lot. And also the old Swain. I played a lot.
What was your first champion? Do you remember?
My first actual main was Swain. And then after that I mained Akali and Lee Sin.
Fair enough. Are
And
we
then
going to
from
see
then
any?
on, uh,
Are we going to see
no,
them
no, no.
transferred into ADC champions anytime soon?
I mean, I play a lot of mages bot lane, but that's
You don't
yeah,
like
I
feel
think
like you don't feel like making the GG meta of Akali bot lane.
not really. No, this was the old Akali, not the
Oh
new
yeah,
Akali.
true.
So
Um, I think it'd be giving a little bit of things away if I asked you what your favourite champion was. But do you have any players that you look up to in the scene? Like, do you have a favourite player or anything?
I like the best player that I've ever played against was Uzi, uh, retired LPL player. When he was in Europe for MSI, and I played against him, it just felt like there was nothing to be done. And I played against like multiple like NA players like Double Lift, Sneaky, and stuff like that. Like laning against them is like pretty easy actually. But then when you face Uzi, it's like no, you can't do anything.
Yeah.
Like he punishes every single like every movement you make. He just punished it. It's really disgusting. Like how he can do it.
Yeah. I've laned against LPL players before, and they are the ones that
Okay.
they're quite painful. Do you have a favourite coach? I know that, like, not like so much as a coach as your favourite, because obviously you're not a coach, but like, is there anyone that you just really enjoy like looking up to in the scene in terms of like what they've done for a roster or what they've kind of done for the scene?
Mm, the like reputs from like he I don't know, like I'm not watching pro play as much at the moment, but like he used to be coach for like C9, I
Yeah,
believe, or
yeah,
maybe
yeah, he
still
was.
is. I don't know where he is right now. um didn't he go to like SKT or something? But anyhow, like reputs, like every time during worlds his drafts were like on point. Like that's the only reason why C9 stayed in Worlds, because of his drafts. So like on that aspect, like I liked watching his drafts and like learning from that. Then other things like usually like when I watch informational stuff about League, I always take it with a grain of salt. Like LS for an example, he
Yeah.
will always have like a strong opinion, and he doesn't really like bend his opinion, like what he thinks is right, even if like something like proves it's actually not like 100% correct.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not like I have a specific coach that I look up to. They're not really put in the spotlights either, to be honest.
No, they're not. I mean, I went for Coach Coma from back in the SKT days, but that was
Okay.
because
Yeah.
I feel like that's one that always stands out. Are there any other content creators that you tend to watch when it comes to League of Legends, picking up any tips or anything? Or are you just doing your own thing?
Yeah, I'm just doing my own thing. Just when I want to have like new things, or like when I want to learn things, it's usually like looking at statistics, uh, for like specific champions that count, or like have like a 55% win rate, and then I'm like, wait, why does this champion have such a high win rate versus that champion? And then I'll like theorycraft a bit, and then try it out, and then if it works, it works. So that's basically how I learn instead of just blindly watching content.
Yeah, you're a theory crafter. You're
Yeah.
breaking the meta, testing the meta. That's fair enough. Well, I only had those few questions for you today, so that does call the end of the interview. But thank you so much for taking less than 10 minutes just to chat to me about these things, so that obviously everybody else can see a little bit more of your background. It was actually really insightful.
Oh, thank you, and nice meeting you as well.
Yes, and you, and we'll speak again soon. Thanks, guys.